Hey Hunters, Lord here, back with another video in my series of semi-beginner guides to Monster Hunter World and Iceborne. A lot of new people are just now picking up the game for the first time as it was on a massive sale over the holidays, and if that's you, you've definitely come to the right place. Now Monster Hunter is a fairly difficult game in any generation, and there are a lot of things even veteran hunters can stand to learn about the game. One thing that unites us all, noobs and veterans, is wanting to be better at the game. Kill stuff faster, deal more damage, and die less often. This is definitely going to be aimed more at those of you who are new to the series, but some veteran hunters may find some of this useful. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into 8 big brain tips that I have to help you get better at Monster Hunter World and Iceborne. The first tip I would say is to use the evade window skill and the evade mantle to learn how and when to roll through monster attacks and roars. Then slowly removing levels of evade window until you can roll through most things without it. The evade mantle will give you a visual and audio cue to let you know when you've perfectly dodged an attack or roar. You could use this to get an idea for when to dodge during hunts. By then slowly removing levels of evade window, the timing on the evasion mantle will get slightly harder, and eventually you'll be so used to it that even once your mantle runs out, you won't need it to roll through most attacks and roars. Tip number 2 is to play every weapon class at least 10 times. This will help you learn new ways to deal with different monster attacks, new ways to punish certain moves, and you never know, you might find a new favorite weapon. I'm a huge proponent of this, and as you can see with my guild card, I have lived up to this quite easily. I really think everyone should do this, as I think it really helps to broaden your scope of play, and when you say you don't like a weapon, you can mean it because you've tried it. Each weapon has a couple of very unique playstyles to it, and by trying each weapon multiple times, I feel like you learn lots of new ways to play, and you become an overall more skillful hunter as you understand a much broader range of the game. For number 3, use the environment to your advantage. Using boulder drops, vine traps, even poison cups and flash flies can all help turn the tide of a hunt. You can get thousands of damage by dropping heavy rocks on a monster's head, or you can get free hits in or some time to heal when a monster is stuck in the vines. Hell, you can even get some monsters to charge into a wall and get stuck, like you can see with this Diablos. Understanding where these are in your environment and how to use them effectively can make a big difference in your hunts. Consider Kulve Taroth for a moment. Her Area 2 in the Master Rank quest has a boulder drop. If you sleep her under this and drop it on her, you're dealing 10% of her health in just one simple boulder drop. For tip number 4, use the loadout function and save both item and equipment loadouts. Setting up both equipment and item loadouts makes swapping in for a different hunt much quicker. Since time is money, making these ahead of time is a great idea. With equipment loadouts, you can save armor, decorations, charms, mantles, and even the layered armor of your choice. So swapping from something like a raw damage set against a normal monster to an elemental set for Elatrion is a breeze. Make the set once, save it under a memorable name, and there you go. That equipment loadout is now ready anytime you're at an item box. Now for items, you can save a bunch of different loadouts. Take for example, you bring a bunch of stuff to craft barrel bombs for Kulve Taroth, and then you can save an item loadout with a different ammo for, say, your spread 3 heavy bowgun, and then another one with the ammo that you'd use for your ice or fire bowgun. You can also save how your item bar lines up and your radial menus with each item loadout. This allows you to have much easier access to whatever you may need for whatever you're hunting and whatever weapon you're using. Now, speaking of radial wheel, that takes me directly into tip number 5 is using your radial wheel. How many times has this happened to you? You're out hunting a Rathian or Rathalos, any color, any poison monster really, it doesn't matter, and you get hit, only to get right back up directly into a poison attack. You're now very low on health and poisoned, and you're scrolling like a maniac to get your antidote, and you die. Now with your radial menu, you have up to 4 radial menus per item loadout that you make, with 8 items on each part of that radial menu, allowing you instant access to 32 different items or crafting without having to scroll. All you have to do is move the right analog stick while holding your left bumper button. Setting up heals, traps, trank bombs, barrel bombs, or whetstones on your radial menu and getting used to where it can be the difference between living or carting, between catching a monster in a trap or watching it limp away at the speed of light. You can also set up crafting on your radial menu, and this is especially helpful for gunners who need to craft more armor, Or for crafting more heals during a fight, I always liked for the Elatrion fight to bring extra stuff to craft more max potions. The Radial menu is a much quicker way to traverse your item pouch, and learning to set it up and use it correctly is paramount to becoming a better hunter. Tip number 6 is to unlock all the food. Doing these optional quests to unlock food items is a huge deal in being better prepared for your hunts. Hey guys, this is Lord. While I've been editing this video, I did want to say that not all of the unlockable foods can be unlocked from optional quests. There are some that come from assigned quests, some that come from different missions that you get, and some that you get just by gathering certain items. In order to help you figure out how to unlock all of these, I'll leave a link down in the description to something that tells you how to get every single kind of food in Monster Hunter World. Certain food skills are locked behind having all 6 of a certain color of food, and some of these skills are very, very strong. Take for example Feline Moxie. This allows you to tank a hit that would otherwise kill you and leave you at 1 HP, which will save you from a cart. However, it can only be gotten with 6 of the light blue ingredients. If you also wanted attack up large or defense up large, you'd need all 6 light blue meats for attack or fish for defense. If you don't have these, you'll limit your boost in attack or defense or element by having to mix and match meats, fish, and veggies. Now, step number 7 is to challenge yourself. Now, you can get to a certain point in this game where you feel like you're pretty good at the game, but it's natural to still want to improve. One way to do this is by giving yourself certain goals or limitations. You could consider trying to get below a certain time on a hunt, like sub 10, sub 5, under 15 minutes. You could try and see if you could go a whole hunt without using any healing items. Or maybe you even want to try a no armor run like some kind of madman. There are really infinite ways to play this game, and if you feel like something is too easy, you can definitely try to spice it up by self-imposing a challenge or rule set. One rule set that I personally like to try to challenge myself is to use time attack rules, which are also known as TA wiki rules, during a hunt. This includes things like not using a palico, you can't use traps or mantles or bombs, no slinger ammo is allowed outside of a few things that allow you to do weapon moves, you can't wall slam monsters, you can't use environmental traps, etc. You've probably already seen some speedruns tagged as TA wiki rules, and now you know what that entails, and you could try it yourself. These are just a few ways that you could challenge yourself to be a better hunter, even if you are a seasoned veteran with hundreds of hours. My final tip, and the one I feel is the most important, is to not give up. One of the key elements to any RPG game, especially those of you who played the Soulsborne games, you guys will know this, is getting your ass kicked. It happens to everyone. For many people, they run into a wall on Anjanath, or Nergigante, or Deviljho, or Khezu?
How do I turn this off? Garbage game. Garbage game. If you like that game, you like bad games. Just admit it.
Anyway, the most important thing is to go in and learn. The more you hunt a monster, the more you'll understand the flow of the fight, you'll learn when to dodge, when to punish certain attacks, when to sharpen or heal, etc. You can't get better if you just give up and let go when it gets hard. The most satisfying part of Monster Hunter games, for me at least, is beating that monster you never thought you'd be able to beat. Take for example my first game, Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, way back on the PlayStation Portable. I played a lot with my younger brother at the time, and we just couldn't beat Tigrex. Eventually, we kind of stopped trying, but I was laying there that night, just going over it in my head over and over again. I figured, you know what, I'll try a new weapon, try out this strategy, give it a shot by myself. Couldn't go any worse than it already has. So I farmed up a new weapon, went into the hunt. I was sweating, down to my last few potions, and I beat it. The pure joy I felt in that moment was unlike anything I had felt in a video game prior. Failure is not the end of your Monster Hunter experience, but in a way, it's really the beginning. It forces you to try new things, to think faster, to react, to be proactive, and most importantly, to learn and to grow. So there you have it guys, 8 tips that I think will help make you a better hunter in Monster Hunter World and Iceborne. If you did enjoy, a thumbs up would be super appreciated, as it's a totally free way to help support the channel and the content that I create. If you're new to my channel, new to Monster Hunter, or if you liked what you saw today, do consider subscribing to the channel for more Monster Hunter content just like this. With all that being said, I want to thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I wish you all a good day and happy hunting.